Okay, the other night I caramelized onions. No one in my household likes that except for me, but
I'll
I did
come
it.
over and get them.
And I was like, this is the best thing. And I thought of you.
I'll come over and bring a to-go container and walk home with the thing. How many
I'll just put 'em
onions
in
did
your
you
hands.
caramelize?
Just one.
That's not enough. You gotta caramelize like enough, like when Plock does it in a big old pot, where it's
Yeah.
like 8 or 10 of them. Just reduce them down.
Well, so I did one, but I ate that whole I ate an onion. An onion.
I will completely eat an entire. I have before sautéed onions and mushrooms together with a little bit of garlic in preparation for my spaghetti sauce. Mm-hmm. And I have on more than one occasion eaten an entire pan sautéed mushrooms and onions with a little garlic, tiny bit of salt and pepper. That's all you need.
The heart wants what it wants. All right.
Should we clap?
We should.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters.
In law.
We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, 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 only Suits fans.
This is Season 7, Episode 5, Brooklyn Housing, and Season 7, Episode 6, Home to Roost.
Caw-caw-caw-caw! Cock-a-doodle-oo!
Ooh, ooh. That's an owl.
Yeah, it's a barn owl.
That's a goose.
I know one cock in this episode.
Yeah, I think you and me both are fed up with their certain cock.
One
and his cock. One huge cock. And one tiny little laptop in his pants.
Little cargo pants. I have a brief about this. I have to get it off my chest.
Go for it.
This was therapeutic for me. I'll tell you what. I'm getting real annoyed with Mr. Mike Ross. Seems like he passed the character and fitness portion of the bar by being a real character and taking huge mental leaps of fitness to justify whatever the heck he wants to do. The only thing that comes natural to this boy wonder is being a fraud. And now he's got Frank Gallo in on it. And maybe he exposed Alex's secret to Harvey inadvertently, and Donna didn't even suspect Harvey was seeing his therapist, and Lewis apologizes for sexually harassing Stephanie Patel, and it's all water under the bridge. What is even happening right now? My brain is going to explode, but I cannot stop watching.
They'll get you. You know?
They got me.
They done got you by the giblets.
They got me by my giblets. I cannot stop watching, but I also am just like in a constant seesaw feeling.
Yeah, this is like in any show when they get to this point, it's like, what the fuck else are they going to write about? Mm-hmm. But they keep writing.
And I keep watching.
I know.
And I'm in on it because it is like, I need to see this explode.
Yeah.
Like when Mike went to prison, it was such a sweet release for me. And now I feel like that buildup is coming again.
Well, sounds like a you problem.
It is. It is a me problem.
Yeah.
But
I can't help you with your
alone.
sweet release again.
I can't. There are others out there rewatching, I'm sure, who are feeling this pain.
Yeah. You want to start talking about this?
I do. Let's
Episode
start
5?
with episode 5.
Okay.
Before the credits, Mike is leaving his apartment at 6:30 in the morning to meet Oliver. And he lies to Rachel, who is still sleeping in bed. She doesn't have to wake up until 7:30. Must be nice to have a 7:30 wake up.
Yeah.
And he's acting like Harvey totally knows what he's doing. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go see Oliver about Brooklyn housing.
She's lying. He's lying to her.
He's lying.
Yeah. Mike and Oliver meet at the clinic to talk about Mark Stevens, one of the plaintiffs. And Nathan interrupts and surprises this secret, like, early morning meeting that they're having. Mike lies and says he's there to work on the Brooklyn housing case. At least they keep saying it's the Brooklyn housing case.
Right.
You know?
He's consistent with what he's lying about.
Yeah.
These poor people at the Brooklyn housing case
Yeah.
who aren't getting any Mike Ross attorney time.
Right.
Then Paula makes Harvey some Pop-Tarts for breakfast. She doesn't strike me as a Pop-Tart lady.
Some people surprise you. Depot, what is something that you eat like that, a Pop-Tart, that would surprise people? You'd be like, huh, I would have never thought that Maggie would eat that.
Okay, keeping in the realm of breakfast food, you know what I used to do when I was teaching is I would heat up a chicken patty, but not like chicken, like the faux chicken, chicken, and then I would put it on an English muffin and eat that for breakfast.
Okay.
Pretty much every day. I feel like that's surprising.
It's a little surprising.
Yeah, it's like a gross chicken biscuit.
Yeah.
What's you?
Well,
Mushrooms and onions?
mushrooms and onions would be really surprising. Though I've never had those for breakfast unless they're like in an omelet. Well, maybe I'll make that tomorrow. Just not make the omelet because I'm out of eggs.
A deconstructed omelet.
Yeah. You know, growing up it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So sometimes I'll just randomly be at the store and buy a box and be like, I need that back in the fridge. I'm in the pantry with some milk in the fridge. I've been on a weird piece of toast with grape jelly on it in the morning.
Oh my God, so wild and crazy.
It's not wild and crazy. It's just like not something like normally I used to eat the same
sweet
breakfast.
potato, bacon, egg.
Yeah, like I had like little breakfast tacos that I would make with these little street tacos that are like high protein taco, whatever. But recently I haven't been hungry for breakfast, but when I am, I've been wanting a piece of toast with grape jelly.
Like a good toast? Like
No,
a crunchy?
it's like the nature's, not like a good piece of bread. It's like the nature's own like keto bread. So I do the keto low sugar bread and then I put full sugar grape jelly on it because of balance.
Yeah, because you're balancing things out.
It's basically two negatives. It's like a, like a negative one and a positive one and back down to zero.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's going on.
Did you ever eat toaster strudels? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I crave those.
We used to eat these little, my mom would buy these breakfast burritos. Like, I think they were Jimmy Dean or something. Little breakfast burritos that Kyle and I would eat it. But, yeah.
Yeah, quick breakfast.
Eggs in the microwave. Do you ever make those?
You know what? I can't bring myself to do it.
My mom taught me how to cook because I wanted to learn to cook early on. So when we were old enough, probably around the age your kids are now, that the other day when like y'all slept in and they were awake, I was probably Martha Jean's age, and she taught me how to make eggs in the microwave. And I would make eggs in the microwave for me and Kyle, and then we would watch The Parent Trap.
Every morning.
Every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday morning.
Yeah. It's his favorite.
We watched it with the kids.
What do they think?
They thought it was, well, we started with the Lindsay Lohan one.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I mean, I think it is like almost verbatim the same, but it's not the same.
You
but
have to
they
watch it
did
with Haley
say,
Mills.
this is really long, is what they said. And it was a really long movie.
I don't think the one with Haley Mills is.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, we'll go back. Anyways, she's making him breakfast and it's Pop-Tarts. She can't meet for lunch because she's actually going to go meet her lawyer. And Harvey's like, whoa, why do you need a lawyer? And he suggests that she meet with Lewis instead because she has this issue with her former partner.
Yep.
And she's like, oh, I can handle it by myself.
Mike and Oliver then meet with Mark Stevens about the fight he got into in prison that landed him extra time in prison. But he doesn't know who the guy is who attacked him. The guards decided to move him that night, and Mike thinks that they set it up that way.
Right, because by like week 2, Mike knew everyone on his block.
Yeah.
So the fact that the guards moved him is very suspicious. Then we hear our favorite song. A Greenback Boogie.
I wanted you to sing that other part because you did the research.
Oh my God. I closed out of the tab. I did. I searched up what the lyrics are, and then I got more confused because I
Okay.
never heard about bean pie. I never heard bean pie when I'm listening to it.
It's like a bean burrito, but it's flat.
I gotta try myself a bean pie.
Yeah, I think
for
you
my
just
life.
Yeah, I think you just put a bunch of bean burritos into a pie pan, and that'd be a bean pie.
And you know how much I love beans.
Yeah. So Paula's lawsuit is the first story, and Lewis is playing desktop cornhole when Harvey visits to talk about how his psychiatrist is being sued and also how he is now dating her. And Lewis says that she could lose her license because they were dating. And of course, she's like, no, it's past the time of the APA, the American Psychology Association.
Which is different than the psychiatrist.
Right. But Harvey gives his word that they're okay because they waited long enough. And he says Donna does not know, and he kind of wants to keep it that way. Well, here we are telling secrets. Or keeping secrets.
So Lewis actually surprises Paula at lunch. She is not expecting him. And he's like, you know what? Your lawyer said it was fine for me to meet with you, which means he is absolutely the wrong lawyer for this job because you need a bulldog. So she's like, actually, there's like some things about the situation that I'd rather not share with Harvey. And he says, well, I won't tell him because you're my client and attorney-client privilege. So she kind of spills the deal that her former partner was also her former partner.
Like
You know what I'm
sex.
saying? Like live-in sex friend. And then when they broke up, some of his former clients that he got started to come back to her because they didn't like how they were being treated by him. So that was a violation of their agreement, which is why he is now suing.
Yeah. Lewis calls Dr. Lipschitz to apologize, and Donna comes to visit to talk about Harvey and ask if they are both on good terms, meaning like are Lewis and Harvey on good terms. And Lewis says there's no need to worry, but we're on good terms. And Lewis almost spills the beans about Paula, the bean pies.
He almost spills the bean to pies.
But he saves it. He's like, hey, I'm just working on something personal for Harvey. He trusts me. We are on good terms.
Trust me. And if someone says it that many times, you gotta
You
trust
have
them.
to trust him.
Harvey then immediately goes and visits Lewis in his office to ask about Paula. And Lewis is like sitting crisscross applesauce on his couch working, which
Yes,
I thought was
he is.
adorable.
Yes, he is.
Like to see him more relaxed.
He's a little bendy.
little bendy guy. And he says, I cannot tell you anything about the case, and you have to give me your word that you will not go snooping in about this case. And Harvey gives his word.
Lewis meets with opposing counsel for Dr. Manning, who is Dr. Agard's former partner, and Lewis has the receipts that the appointments were made by the clients, not her poaching. But Dr. Manning says that she started seeing Harvey before the waiting period, and now he's going to expose her. He's going to go before the board.
APA.
Yeah, which one are we going before?
Which doesn't even matter.
Right. They'd
Which
be like,
for a
sorry,
second I
wrong
was
license.
like, for a second I was like, oh my gosh, did Whitney, our friend who called out that it's the APA, did she... Is the writer now saying like, oh, Harvey made a mistake?
Oh,
but
because
no,
like back because
it's not.
Yeah, it's
Dr.
not.
Manning was just in this world. It was the correct board. They have waited the right amount of time. He was just going to lie. So Lewis goes and he needs to know if Paula started seeing Harvey before he stopped being her patient. And he's kind of like coming at her aggressively.
Surprise.
Surprise. And he says like, well, your ex is going to declare that to the board. And she goes, that could ruin my career. And you need to know, absolutely, I did not start doing that. I have incredible ethics. And my ex, you really need to know what happened with me and him. And he says, I do, because the only defense is the truth. And she starts with, well, after he broke my heart, he changed his mind.
Yeah.
And dot.
Lewis debriefs the Paula situation with Dr. Lipschitz, and which is interesting because Dr. Lipschitz, it's like, hey, we've never talked about a case before. Which
is interesting.
Yeah. And now her ex was trying to win her back and how she felt sorry for him. And Lewis also felt bad for him. So he was kind of like a little bit relating to him. Like he felt a little bit a connection there. Dr. Lipschitz says it's still about Tara and not getting closure. But Lewis doesn't think that's what it is.
No, he's like, nah, that's not
I'm
it.
good.
Yeah. Here his therapist just continues to tell him, and everyone around him keeps telling him, like, it's about Tara. And he's like, no, it's about something else.
Yeah.
So then Lewis meets with Paula's ex, Dr. Manning, and he's basically like, you messed up and you wouldn't take no for an answer, and now you have been stalking Paula for a year. And Lewis has 2 signed affidavits by these people who have just like witnessed him lurking.
One was the investigator and one was the person who like runs the newspaper stand.
Yes, yeah. And that's a Class D felony. And Lewis is like, I should have you arrested. Or maybe I should just go to the board and have your license removed. So then Dr. Manning starts breaking down and he's just like, I just had seen how my life was going to be with her. And then it all came crumbling down. And you can tell Lewis is getting a little teary-eyed, like he feels for him. But they're going to drop the suit and Paula is going to be able to go away scot-free.
Next one up is about Michael Ross, the liar.
Michael Ross was such a sweet, innocent baby liar.
Yeah.
And now he's like,
This is like Mickey.
I'm Mikey Ross.
Yeah, Mikey Ross.
Yeah, I don't like this liar. This
Yeah.
one's like, you should know better.
This is too much.
Start over.
Right. Speaking of, let's start over at the top of this one. Oliver asked Mike if he thinks what they're doing is worth it. And Mike says, yeah, it's worth it. And Oliver finds a link between the fights, not necessarily the guards. It's Jamarcus Collins. And so Oliver's going to go pick him up in an hour. But then Harvey comes in and Mike's talking to him on the phone. And he's like, I need you to come be good cop, bad cop with me. And Mike's like, I can't because I've got to go to the Brooklyn Housing Authority, good old BHA, to help Oliver. And Harvey's like, dude, I did not bring you back for you to not be here.
Yeah, but
it's
he's
kind of
also
like somebody saying, I didn't hire you for this job for you to not work.
Right, exactly. But Harvey's also like, but I get it. Go wrap it up. Like, go figure out this is, Harvey's very understanding of this Brooklyn housing case. But really, Oliver picks him up and they go to meet with Jamarcus Collins in prison. And they ask about all these brawls and conspiring with the prison. And he's like, honestly, they flip him pretty easily. He starts talking like without anything, really. And he says, I learned that it was good to pick fights because I picked a fight and instead of being sent to solitary, they sent the other guy to solitary. And then when I went back to my room, I had a new PlayStation. So they didn't ever explicitly say beat up these guys, but he kept getting rewarded for it. So they're like, oh, well, would you testify to that on the stand? And he goes, oh, are you going to get me out of prison? No? Okay. Then no.
Right. There is no paper trail showing that the prisons were rewarded for picking fights. It's a dead end. Or is it? Mike says they need to start looking outside of this one prison. And so this company owns 8 prisons. Instead of going to dinner with Rachel, Mike decides he's going to help Oliver and they're going to go through all these files. He realizes that he knows someone who used to be at Lambert, which is one of the prisons.
Mm-hmm. Who would know everything going on at Lamp? Someone who's really in the know.
Yep.
So Harvey goes and he asks Rachel, where's Mike? And she goes, he's at the clinic. And Harvey is like, you know what? I'm getting really sick and tired of seeing Mike's office empty. And then he asks if Holly Cromwell came through for them, for Mike and Rachel. Mm-hmm. And Rachel's like, well, let's just say the article they wrote about Mike would never have existed without her.
Yeah.
So that's important for the next story. Later.
Mike goes to visit Frank Gallo.
Frank freaking Gallo.
To talk about Lambert, because that's who used to be at Lambert before he was transferred to Danbury. Mike wants Frank to be an expert witness, and Frank says he'll only talk if Mike gets him out of prison, and also next time he needs to bring him a goddamn cookie. Just fair. I mean, honestly, I don't like Frank. The actor who plays him does such a good job with this role. Like, he's so good at it, and he deserves a cookie and a raise.
You give Frank Gallo a cookie, though. He's going to ask for milk.
Yeah.
But I also agree Mike should have brought some tasty treat. So then Oliver wants to know where the hell Mike has been all morning. So Mike really can't catch a break. Everyone's looking for him.
Well, because he's in 2 places at once.
He is, and he shouldn't be in these places.
Yeah.
But he has been visiting Sean Cahill that morning because Gallo said, Cahill owes you a favor. Get me out of prison. Mm-hmm. Cahill was like, at the hell no.
Yeah.
Am I going to do that? So they need to find another reason to get Gallo out of prison. And then Oliver's like, wait a second. This Frank Gallo guy, he got like extra time for trying to kill someone right around the time that you got out. Is he the guy who tried to kill you? Why would we want to release him? How did Oliver make that connection?
Well, because Oliver is good at like non-litigation. He's a good lawyer. Mm-hmm. He put 2 and 2 together. He has a good legal mind. The original name of this show, Legal Mind. Mm-hmm. But he just can't do it in court.
On the spot.
Yeah, performance anxiety.
Yeah.
Mike is super late coming back to the apartment, and Rachel suggests that maybe he should take some time off from the clinic to help Harvey. And Harvey brought him back for a reason, so when he does need him, he'll be there. And Mike lies again about the Brooklyn Housing Authority. Rachel then confesses she ate all of the spring rolls because of the sauce.
Being late.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's even. Like, Mike's lying about what he's working on, and Rachel lied about eating spring rolls.
Well, she didn't really lie. He's like, did you get spring rolls? And she's like, yes. And then he's like, did you eat them all? And she's like, yes.
She does
tell the truth. So she could have, this is a teaching moment, or a learning moment for Mike Ross. Mm-hmm. And Rachel is the teacher.
And Mike Ross is a horrible
egg rolls
student.
Are the prison case.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Are you working on the prison case? Mike Ross. Yes.
Yeah.
And, that's what you do. Then we're back, and Frank Gallo is with Mike, and he's like, where's my cookie? Mike has forgotten the cookie. He has a photographic memory, but he can't remember to bring Frank Gallo a cookie. But Mike has something even better. He is going to enter Frank into the class action lawsuit So Mike's like, now you will win a good chunk of money. And when you do, that money could go to your daughter. And Frank's like, well, how do you even know about my daughter? Like, it's kind of catches him off guard. And Mike's like, I'm not trying to bully you with this. I'm trying to help you, which is a classic Mike Ross tactic where he pretends he's trying to help someone.
He's such a good helper, such a good guy.
Such a helper. So Frank starts chirping. He starts talking about the reward system in the prison. And he says, I'm going to need an advance on that settlement if I'm going to testify. So he's going to need all the settlement money up front.
Well, he said he needs an advance.
Yes, yeah. Later.
We find out later he wants all that cash.
And I would want that too, because Mike Ross did say he was going to get him out of prison and then did end up giving him more time in prison.
And he did ask Mike Ross to bring him a cookie, and he didn't. Frank has no reason to trust Mike Ross, but neither does anybody. Yet they still do.
Yeah, we all do. We all do.
Nathan intercepts Mike in the clinic and confronts him with the prison lawsuit. The second you signed that agreement, I knew you'd go back on it, is what Harvey said. And
Nathan said.
Is what Nathan said, yeah. He's like, I've gained a lot of respect from Nathan because this time he's screwing over Harvey. Like, he's like, hey, I win. Either you screw over Harvey or we win this case. Like, or it gets dropped. But like, I'm fine either way. This is literally, not be... the clinic is fine. This is a win-win for me.
Mm-hmm. Rachel then leaves some takeout for Mike on the coffee table, and it is completely sealed. He is very late again. Mm-hmm. He has missed dinner again. Mm-hmm. But not only that, she had brought that dinner to him at the clinic, and he was not there. And she's like, you need to start telling me what's going on, because Oliver couldn't seem to know where you were. And if you were really working on Brooklyn housing, he would have been able to tell me where you were. So he confesses, and she is so pissed and says maybe Harvey should fire him. Like, because he's lying. And he gave Harvey his word. And she says, ask yourself what your word is worth. Because at the rate things are going, it's not going to be worth very much. And Mike is just like, oh, man. What do I say?
Good for her. I'm so glad she gave him the biz.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
Me too. He needed it.
Yeah, big time. He's being a turd.
He's being such a turd. And she's true. Like, it's not, because if it was any other case, he needs to be able to recognize when he's putting other people in jeopardy, and he does not. He thinks that he can always worm his way out. He gets this like sick rush out of doing the wrong thing for what he pretends is the right thing, but it's actually just because he wants to. His brain, you know what? It's like a Labrador puppy, and it needs a lot of exercise, right? And Mike Ross's brain is not getting enough exercise right now, and so instead he's manufacturing all these fucked up things instead of just putting his mind to work. He should write a book. He should read a book.
He should.
He should go for a jog. Yep. Maybe he needs to be riding his bike more.
He might. Maybe that. Or somebody just needs to give him a Kong.
Yeah, to chew with some peanut butter on the inside.
Literally, when I gave whiskey today, I had a big call I had to take. And I was like, it's too early for dinner. Even though, we like to eat early here at the Austin household. Mm-hmm. We're early eaters. But it was well before 5. And so I Konged him up. It's like, I need you to take this Kong. Mama got to take a call.
Mama takes a call. Whiskey takes a Kong.
Yep. He loved it. Okay, this last one, the solar panels.
Yes. So Harvey goes to visit someone. I think it's Mr. Palmer. No, who is it? What's his name?
I don't remember.
He goes to visit this guy, right? And this guy has this solar panel technology. Mm-hmm. And Harvey lets him know that someone else is stealing their technology. And he says, you should hire me to sue the hell out of them so that they don't ever go to market. And Harvey, he's like, you win, but you have 3 days to prove yourself.
Mm-hmm. Then Miss Cromwell visits Harvey in the lobby and asks for a job as a full-time in-house consultant because he promised he wouldn't ruin her reputation. She mentions Rachel coming to visit her, but Harvey is like, I didn't send her. I've got a lot on my plate. It's a no. I'm good. Yeah. He was pretty rude to her. I really liked her dress.
She looked really pretty.
It was a nice slate blue. It had this really cool sleeve detail. Just want to note.
Yeah. It was a good color on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very bold of her to come, and it's partially, she needs the work, right?
Yeah.
And also, he did promise he would not ruin her reputation, and then did, in fact, ruin her reputation, so...
Yeah, I would say, though, like, is it bold of her? But also, like, yes, she needs the work, but also, what's the worst he's going to say?
Is no.
They're literally in the lobby of an office building. It's not like she's asking Louis Litt, who's going to blow the fuck up.
Right,
like,
yeah. She knows it's going to be fine.
The answer to the question that you never ask is always no.
It's true. Sometimes, though, with the characters on this show, I feel like if you catch them in the wrong moment, you could be getting a fist in the face.
Yeah, but like, I applauded her.
I applaud her, too. I think it was a bold move.
Get in there. Go get your money. Go get your work.
Go get it.
Go get it.
Get it, girl.
Harvey visits Lockwood Solar Panels to tell him that he is suing them. And Lockwood says if he's there without the FBI, he's just a shakedown artist. Which I think Harvey probably takes offense to because Harvey's not a shakedown artist.
No, he's not.
No, Harvey calls the shakedown artists on their shake.
Yes.
He calls them on their shake.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Harvey says...
steak, they're the shake.
What?
He's the steak.
They're the shake. Yeah.
Like steak and shake.
Steak and shake. Shake and bake. Steak and shake.
Shake
Steak and shake. Steak and shake and bake. That's the name of the episode.
Steak and shake and bake.
Harvey says he's offering him a chance to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
Steak and shake and bake. It took us a while to get to that.
Yeah, but steak and shake and bake.
Uh-huh.
Incredible. That's history repeating itself.
Yes, it is.
Donna then catches Harvey in the hall just to make sure that he and Lewis are okay because she saw them in an intense discussion. She's feeling very like, are you guys okay if you're talking without me? Like, she doesn't really, she's out of the loop.
Yeah, because she's the coup.
She's the coup now. Yeah. She's not the...
Cuckoo.
She's not in on everything. Like, she's in it, but she's not in it in the same way.
Yeah.
And Harvey's like, you know what? Just butt out. It's fine. We're good.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, well, Rick, the solar panel guy, is in his office, and he wants results. And Harvey's like, why didn't you tell me? She goes, because I'm not your secretary anymore. So...
Yeah.
And he hasn't hired a secretary.
No. He's following in the footsteps of Jessica Daddy.
I don't know. He needs to get one. Mm-hmm. But the solar panel guy, he's like, okay, you need to give me results, and I'm here because you haven't called me, so you don't have any good news. And after that one meeting with Harvey, the Lockwood guys actually moved their launch date up a month. So this solar panel guy, whose name is Rick, I wrote it down here, his name is Rick, says that he needs to deliver by the next meeting, or he will tell everyone that Harvey can't keep his promises. Because by doing this, Harvey's kind of messed up the solar panel thing.
Yeah. Harvey visits Cromwell to have her figure out how Lockwood solar panels stole the technology. It's basically an impossible task, but she'll figure it out for a job. So, like, if she goes and does this, then it means he's going to hire her.
Mm-hmm. So then Harvey needs Donna to draw up this paperwork for hiring her because he's so confident she's going to find this impossible thing to find. Mm-hmm. And Donna's like, I think that's a mistake. She's this corporate spy. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's going to be a good fit, if she's going to have the loyalty we need. And Harvey's like, well, actually, it's my call. And Donna calls him. She's like, actually, it isn't. And this is reckless. And if I need to, I will call up Lewis, and don't tell me it's something that doesn't require a vote. So he's like, okay, Donna, you win. You want to be the one to make that call? You're going to want to tell her to her face.
Yep. Donna meets with Holly in the morning to make sure that she's PSL material. And Donna thinks that she is in the betrayal business. And Holly says that Harvey is the one who made her violate the integrity of her business. And then she delivers exactly what Harvey asked for. And Donna is impressed and stunned. I think also like Holly put her in her place.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because Holly really Donna. Mm-hmm. You know, she she was like, actually, here's all the things that go on that like are the subtleties that I pick up on, and how I know that if I ask for this thing, they are going to give it to me because they think that it's nothing, but it's actually the missing piece. And Donna just feels like, oh, okay, yeah, I also kind of do that. So it's these two women who are really good at their job, but one of them has done a questionable job.
Yeah.
One of them isn't quite in her shoes yet.
Yeah. Harvey tells Donna that Holly doesn't want to work at PSL anymore.
Yeah, after
all that. She don't want us.
She don't want it.
She just wants a one-off check. You know, pay me for that thing. It's fine. Everything is cool. Donna says that she's noticed something is different about Harvey lately, and that she's missed this, which is like them interacting together. And he does act like there's something a little bit different. He's like, no, there's something different, but like
the way
there's
he
something
says it.
Different.
And there is, and that something is Paula.
Now we got episode 6.
You want to take us in before the credits?
Rachel greets Sad Mike in the morning in the kitchen. He's been thinking about what she said to him last night, as he should.
Because she was right.
Yes. He is going to keep helping Oliver. And she's like, the fuck?
What the fuck?
I know. She's like, So you're just going to live your life keeping secrets again? He's like, look, I kept my word to Harvey, but before that, I kept my word to Oliver. And she says, it's the same as before. And he's like, no, it's not. And Mike says he sleeps like a baby now because he's doing the right thing and because he's helping these people. And I can't imagine she slept like a baby thinking, my fiance's a liar.
He's a liar.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I know. This made me so mad.
I know.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, Paula is in the same dress as she was in the episode and night before. Mm-hmm. And she greets Harvey in the morning. Once again, no Pop-Tart though. Mm-hmm. And she is going to go see her patients. And he actually needs her opinion because he has not told Donna about how he is seeing Paula. And she's like, well, you just got to tell her, but you already knew that. You just needed to hear it from someone else. And she's pretty chill about that, I feel like.
Yeah. Mike and Oliver visit Frank Gallo in prison, and Oliver needs his source's name. But he's not going to give a name without $500,000 deposited. And Mike says that they need corroboration, and there's a prosecutor who pursued this but didn't see it through. And then Frank backs out of the deal and says, you know what? You're not going to get shit from me.
Yeah, go talk to the prosecutor.
Yeah. Good for Frank.
Good job, Frank.
Yeah, good for Frank. Right, Lydia?
So then, after the credits.
After the bean pies.
After we eat some bean pies. Mm-hmm. There's this storyline that we have to talk about, and it's Lewis getting sued.
As he should.
For something he did.
That was wrong.
All witnessed.
Yes.
That was wrong. That
we were there watching it from our couches or our phones, wherever we get our shows.
Everyone in the pit saw
Everybody in the pit saw it.
Everyone saw this happen.
Yes.
Lewis goes and confronts Brian, Craig Manning from Degrassi, in the break room. Mm-hmm. And Lewis wants to know how bad he was the other day when he flipped the fuck out. And he wants Brian to say that it was not very bad and then sign an affidavit saying that it was not bad. And that Lewis then granted him the weekend off. And Lewis is doing all of this to be a little sneaky.
Oh, yeah. He's been a big time sneak town. Mm-hmm. Rachel asks why Lewis made Brian relive that horrible day. And it's because Stephanie is suing Lewis for sexual harassment. And Lewis says Rachel needs to go fix this, but Rachel can't do that because she had some run-ins with Stephanie and they don't get along. So she sends Katrina. And Katrina asks why Stephanie is bringing the lawsuit now, because she could have done it earlier. That lawsuit will destroy Lewis. And then Stephanie's like, hey, you're the woman who convinced me to leave a good job, and now I was treated horribly there and sexually harassed and then fired, and now you want a favor. And Katrina's like, yeah, what's going on? And Stephanie's like, it's because word got around at this firm that people think that I can't cut it, and so that's what this is actually about. I gotta stick it to Lewis.
Yeah, but not even just stick it to Lewis. Hold Lewis accountable.
Yes.
Like, Stephanie Patel has every right to file this lawsuit.
Yes.
And
I have a big problem with this storyline.
It's not about destroying Lewis. It's about, defending her character. And if people are thinking that, no. Let me tell the truth and expose this.
Yep.
Lewis is then in the break room stress blending a whole bunch of pruneys. Mm-hmm. And Katrina presents the settlement to Lewis that is a very fair settlement, but it does have Lewis admitting to sexual harassment. And he says, I cannot do that because I have already been accused of sexual harassment.
And it will look like a pattern. Well, maybe because it is a pattern.
Yeah, ding dong. It is a pattern. You freak out and you harass people. And he's like, I didn't touch her or anything. And she's like, that's not what sexual harassment is. And she says, whatever you do, Lewis, do not go see Stephanie Patel.
Don't go do it.
Do not go do it. What does Lewis do?
He goes to visit Stephanie Patel.
Does he go to see her where? Outside her apartment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In a very vulnerable place for her?
Yes. He can't admit that he did exactly what he did. He tells her she's not going to wipe the floor with this shit, and Stephanie says that he is going to owe her so much money she's never going to need a job again. Go get it, girl. Yeah. Sorry, I love the character of Lewis Litt, but I do not like what Lewis Litt did. And he needs to be held accountable.
Exactly. Because he goes to try and convince her not to do this with no apology or no nothing.
Yeah.
So then Lewis is just marching into the office, how he does his little stress walk. Mm-hmm. And then Katrina says, what the hell did you do? Why were Rachel and Donna slapped with subpoenas last night?
Subpoenas.
some penis last night. Why were they slapped with some penis?
Slapped late at night with some penis.
Late night, some penis, slapping him in the face.
Yeah.
Katrina says Stephanie has on record Donna saying that what Lewis did was wrong. And then Lewis is like, what? Donna said what? Why would she ever do that? And Katrina's like, because you did it. You did it. And Brian, Craig Manning from Degrassi, is standing at the doorway and he goes, why don't you just tell her that you're sorry? And he has also been served with subpoena. And he says, it might not work, but if I was in her shoes, I would just want to hear an apology.
Yep.
As a place to start.
Lewis apologizes to Stephanie at her office, and he gives her an explanation and tells her about Tara leaving him. He says he is ashamed and he will sign anything, and also offers her a job back at PSL. Stephanie said the lawsuit was about how he made her feel and her own insecurities, and she drops the lawsuit. And I hate this scene so much.
I do not think this is a realistic scene with two attorneys.
No. She wouldn't have dropped the case just like that.
No.
Also, he came in and said, I'm sorry. Here's why.
Yes.
Like, that is not how you apologize. Just apologize. Just say I'm
sorry.
Don't justify it. Don't circumvent it. Just say, I'm sorry. Because that's the apology that will land with somebody. And saying, but here's why I did it.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you why I justified my behavior.
And no acknowledgement of, like, her feelings in it either.
No, nothing. Like, she was feeling something, and he's like, okay, but let me just tell you why I'm sorry. This is what I did, and no big deal about how you feel.
It was absolutely freaking wild. Lewis Litt should be admitting to sexual harassment. Whatever, he's already a named partner. He's not going to get booted out. Fine. But he should admit to it and have a consequence for it because he did something bad. Lewis then goes and apologizes to Donna as well. He's on this big apology tour. He's on a big apology tour, and he apologized for not taking her advice and dealing with Tara, because it was Tara actually all along, and he wishes he'd just listened to her sooner, but he's there to thank her now because he feels like he can finally move forward with his life. And Donna says, you know what? You can take back the associates. And then as he leaves, Donna goes and pulls out the can opener. But it kind of looks like a corkscrew.
It does, but it's the can opener. I think it's like to signify, to symbolize that Donna can maybe move forward too. Because we've just found out about
Paula.
Lewis goes to tell Brian that there is more to life than working at PSL, and he needs to go get a good night's sleep. He also got him a onesie that says, you just got spit up, which is really funny.
So cute.
And
I
he
want
said,
it.
yeah, and he says, well, that means you got to have another baby.
Yes, I don't.
And he says Brian can bring his kid in whenever he wants.
I'm hoping that we see.
Well, then he goes, but also call first, because this is a goddamn place of business.
Okay, now another storyline. Mike is, in fact, still a liar.
I'm surprised that he even has any clothes to wear because all of his pants are on fire.
I'm surprised that he can fit through doors because his nose is so long.
That's fair.
Maybe, oh my God, his penis is his lying nose. Every time he tells a lie, his
just keeps
penis
getting
grows.
bigger.
And that's why it's so big.
Yeah, it is.
I guess I solved a mystery.
Yeah. Oliver and Mike visit the prosecutor about Frank Gallo's case, and she says that no one gave a shit about prisoners and how they're treated. Mike says she needs to testify to it in court. Oliver and Mike both stand up and button their jackets while they threaten to subpoena her. They're going to slap her with a subpoena.
Yeah, slap her with a big subpoena.
Yeah,
she said. What did she say? She says it feels like when she tried to pursue it, it just came crashing down a flagpole like a bunch of cement or something.
Yeah.
Like it was, she could not move this case anywhere.
Right.
Donna then tells Harvey, hey, Frank Gallo left you a message saying you and Mike better not be trying to screw me over again. Which is like Frank Gallo calling to Harvey. And so he immediately runs to confront Mike, who is still lying about Brooklyn housing and is trying to pretend like he had to talk to Frank Gallo about Brooklyn housing because Frank Gallo once lived in Brooklyn. And Harvey's like, well, does Rachel know about this? And you also, Mike, better hope that Gallo doesn't leave her a message.
Yep.
Weak.
Ooh. Alex is pissed about the prison case, and so is the construction client. And he tells Harvey that they found a witness at another prison, and now he's going to lose a client. And then Harvey's like, uh-oh.
Oh, they found a witness, and Frank Gallo just called.
I bet I can put two and two together.
So Harvey goes and confronts Rachel, and he's like, where the hell is Mike? And she cannot tell him where Mike is. And also Harvey says, you can't tell him that I'm looking for him either.
Right. Which is not a problem because in this show, they don't use phones.
They don't use phones
They
at
just
all.
go run around the entire tri-state area looking for each other. It's unbelievable. It's like, where's Mike? When you could just be like,
Text him.
where are you at?
Yeah.
ETA? Call me.
This show would be so much more boring, though, if it was real life, where it'd be like,
Don't tell him.
Brooklyn
Okay,
housing.
I won't use my cell phone in 2016 or whatever it is by now, right?
And let him know that you're looking
Yeah.
for him. So instead of going to find Mike, Harvey goes to visit Mr. Reyes, who is the father of the guy who died in prison. And he's like, hi, I'm from Pierce Inspector Lit, and it's so important that our clients are satisfied with our pro bono work. So would you say that Mr. Ross is doing everything to help you? And Mr. Reyes is like, oh my gosh, yes, he is doing so much. I wouldn't have anyone else working on the case. I'm so glad he even had me turn down an offer because there's so much more money in it. Like, I'm just very, very pleased with the work of Mr. Ross. And Harvey goes, thank
Mikey.
you. Thank you so much. Great way. So smart of Harvey.
Well, Harvey is smart. He went to Harvard Law. Harvey confronts Mike. Mike says, no, you had an agreement. But as it turns out, stopping corruption is more important than some company's bottom line. And Harvey says, pay Gala right now and just take it out of my cut. Take it out of my bank account. I don't care. And be done with it. Harvey is going to the hearing and will tell the judge that Mike broke his agreement, and the judge will toss the case. It's kind of like a parent saying, hey, I'm going to leave you in jail overnight for this and make you learn from your lesson.
Yeah, you were going to toss this whole thing out because you messed up.
Yeah.
Also, Mike being like, no, you had an agreement. Well, guess what, Mike? It takes two people to have an agreement, and you said yes to that agreement. So you were a part of it. It wasn't Harvey's agreement with nobody or the ghost of Mike Ross's past.
Right.
So then Mike goes home, and Rachel is pissed, and she hates that she had to lie to Harvey's face. She wants to hear that Mike is dropping that goddamn thing and getting his priorities straight. So he either needs to choose to go to work at the clinic or to stay at PSL. And then she's like, I'm leaving, so you have time to think about this. But
Good.
she reads him again, and he's got to think about it. But I thought she did a good job. She didn't say anything mean. She just said the truth.
But she was mad.
She was mad, but
She was
mad, but she didn't say anything like, you're a worthless piece of shit, Mike, who's a big lying fraud. She was just like, you need to figure this out because I do not like what I had to do.
Yeah.
So she is very firm in it, but she didn't say anything that's like relationship breaking. It's up to him right now.
Yeah. Well, he's in a heap of trouble
He's in a
for
heap.
being a liar.
He's deep in the Brooklyn housing shit.
Yeah. Mike goes to tell Oliver that he can't work on the case anymore. And Oliver was counting on Mike helping him prepare. And Mike says Oliver needs to get the goddamn job done. Stop acting like a little boy and start acting like a man.
He just like yells at him.
God, Mike is crazy.
He's like, oh, you knew that
Mike
this
has snapped, honestly.
Honestly, yes. He's like, you knew that this could happen. You knew that this could happen, Oliver, so just stop it. And it's like, Mike, well, what? You were supposed to walk Oliver through this. Anyways, Mike then goes see Oliver in court. He is in the actual courtroom that he is not supposed to be in because he's not going to help Oliver, but he is going to watch him because he nothing wrong with watching your friend kick ass in court. So Oliver's feeling really confident, really good about it. And
Oliver has his day in court. And then Alex Williams bursts through the door saying that PSL shouldn't have had anything to do with it because Mike violated this agreement. Mike stands up and says, Your Honor, I violated the agreement. The judge dismisses the case just like that.
Yeah.
It's very theatrical. And it's like, I wonder what's up here.
I was like, Mike has another plan with this. Like he wanted to get it dismissed or something, but it was very theatrical.
Yeah.
This is giving, I'm going to videotape you with a tiny camera in my prison cell that's live streaming to the guards as you try to kill me with a huge steak knife.
Yeah.
It feels very put on.
Yeah.
Then Mike goes and confronts Harvey about Alex interrupting the court and blowing up the case. And then Alex once again bursts in and he is super pissed. And Harvey actually takes Alex's side on it and says, you know what, Mike, you gave him no choice. Because Mike's like, you could have done it in private. You didn't have to do it like that. And Harvey says, it is done. You have made your bed. Now you're going to sleep in it. Daddy Spectre is here. He is in the house.
Diddity dang dang.
Diddity dang dang.
A diddity dang dang a dang dang ding ding.
Ding ding to daddy.
Mr. Reyes confronts Mike. Mike says that they just threw him and Oscar off of it, but it doesn't mean the case is thrown out. It's a good case, and Mike's like, look, I thought you were doing this for the money. And he says, now I have nothing. I don't have any money, but I also don't have any justice. I don't have any healing. I have nothing.
Yeah, fuck Mike in
Yeah.
this. Like, seriously, I think that's what my anger came from, is this scene, actually.
Well, because he's like, I thought you weren't doing it for the money. Well, guess what? If you weren't doing it for the money, Mike, you'd leave PSL and just go work at the clinic.
Yes.
Fund it and then go work there and get paid $35,000. You're also doing it for the money.
Yeah, but also you convinced him not to take, what, like $100 million or something? Like,
Yeah.
you convinced him not to take a shit ton of money because you were like, oh, I can get you more. I don't know if it was $100 million. I just made that up.
Yeah.
But still, you have fucked this man over, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're trying to throw it in his face. Like, oh, I thought you were in it for the right reasons. Like, no, Mike, I thought you were in it for the right reasons. You really screwed a bunch of people over.
Yep. Then Harvey goes to talk to Alex. He's like, hey, he tells him, and Alex is like, Alex says, I know you're here, and thanks for backing me up today. He's like, I'm actually not here about that. What you did, you could have done privately, but you didn't, and you did it in public, which means that you're protecting yourself. So what's up? Mm-hmm. And I will say, because I've seen this many times, to be continued.
What?
Well, yeah, he's like, what's up?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm just saying keep watching.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to see what that is.
Our last little storyline
Yeah,
here.
one quickie. Mm-hmm. Paula and Harvey. So Paula visits Harvey at work. She wants to know if him not being able to go out with her, because she's like, oh, let's go out, is because of how it went with Donna, like telling Donna about them. And Harvey's like, actually, I didn't get a chance to because it has been a hell of a day. And Paula says, I would like to stay out of it. Like, I don't want to get in the middle of this. But I don't like that you're keeping our relationship a secret from Donna. And then Paula's like, because you know Donna loves you. And Harvey says, for someone who doesn't want to be in on it, it feels like you're getting hell of it involved. Like, he says hell of a again.
Yeah.
And then she just kind of walks off and she goes, okay, well, then you won't have any trouble telling her in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell him. Mm-hmm.
If today was so bad, tell her in the morning.
Harvey sits with Donna in her office, and he tells her he's been seeing Paula and not as just his therapist. And Donna is amused that he didn't think that she knew. And she's like, I was just waiting for you to be able to open up to me. And she's like, I'm really happy for you. But when he leaves, she looks like she just saw a ghost. And Rachel is creepy lurking in the doorway. Like, all of a sudden, she's just there. And she asks if she wants to talk about it. Donna says, I just got some news that I should have seen coming, and I didn't. And Rachel says, well, I've got some news for you too. We've just been subpoenaed to testify against Lewis. So this is when they got those late night subpoenas slapped on them.
Yep. Double subpoenas and double shocker.
Yeah.
Harvey then goes straight from this late night telling of Donna about Paula and brings mushu pork and fried rice to Paula to apologize and tell her, like I told Donna, and it was really unfair of me to do that to both of you. And Paula calls him her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And asks how Donna took it. And Harvey's like, actually, she was fine. She like totally already knew. Donna was not fine.
Yeah.
She was not fine.
Rachel talks to Donna. She knows Donna isn't being straight with her, and Donna tells her about Harvey being involved with someone and how she didn't see it coming. And she didn't want to see it coming. And that's why she didn't know. And Rachel's like, well, why don't Michelle Ross and Harriet Specter go out for a drink later this week?
Donna then gives Harvey back the key to his apartment, and she admits she didn't know about Harvey and Paula, so she lied. And he gets it because he remembers how he felt when she was seeing someone, or what I think when started.
Stephen Huntley.
Oh, with Stephen Huntley, even.
Remember when that was even a thing?
Oh my God, I totally forgot about Stephen Huntley.
Yeah.
And he says, but it doesn't mean, and she just says, exactly. So they're back in sync.
Yeah.
And then they go to their respective offices, which are actually right next to each other.
And they each look at the wall, like at each other.
Like looking to each other, but not able to see each other.
Yeah.
But it seems like the doors are open.
Yeah.
You know?
They could, yeah. It's like, yeah. Doors open for this. Come on back.
Come on back.
Makes me think of like sometimes when you're running to catch a train and you're like, quick, hold the door. Hold the door.
Hold the door.
Hold the door because I've got a prediction.
And I gotta go to Prediction Town.
Choo choo.
Choo
Choo choo. My choo choo got real clogged up because I guess I hadn't taken my train in for service.
It's time. It's 7 seasons of choo-choos.
Yeah, and we haven't taken the train in for service yet.
Okay, just now as we were recapping, I was like, I hope that we see Michelle Ross and Harriet Specter out on the town.
Okay.
And they make some bad decisions.
Okay.
They both deserve it because these men in their lives. So I hope that we see that in the next episode. So also this thing that Alex is hiding. I think that he was a part of this Frank Gallo prosecutor not being able to pursue this prison thing. I think he was a part of that somehow in some sort of shady agreement. And that's what's going to come up, and it's just going to completely complicate things and also make maybe like Mike Ross is going to try and sweep Alex into it, like into his justice seeking for Mr. Reyes.
Yeah.
Which also like, so Mike signed a paper saying he would not work on this case as a part of PSL. Is he going to, but does that mean he can't work on it at all? Or does it mean if he leaves Pierce Inspector Lit, he can work on it? So if he like goes and starts his own firm with Oliver, could he continue this case? I just feel like for some reason he is so hung up on this and this is like really captivating his attention. So I don't feel like he's just going to drop it even though, and also the way he just like stood up in court and was like, yep, it's true. It feels like he has something else brewing. Like there's another idea here. I feel like Lewis is in a really good place and I hope it sticks like mud to some nipples. Like I hope for the rest of the season, Lewis is just easy gliding with Dr. Lipschitz.
Okay.
I think Donna is going to kiss Harvey and then that will thus force Harvey to be a cheater, which is the exact opposite of everything that he stands for because he will cheat on Paula with Donna. Even though since season 1, he has been like the only thing that I care about is not being a homewrecker. I think that he is going to become a homewrecker. But he doesn't really have a home with Paula, so whatever, but it's going to be like a huge, huge deal.
I'm laughing at something that happened at work today.
I was like, is this a bad prediction?
No, tell your last one, then I'll tell you what it is.
Okay, I also think Rachel will get murdered by Frank Gallo.
These are some really interesting predictions.
Thank you.
Did you know that Jessica Pearson was originally supposed to be murdered in this show?
No.
And that's how they're going to write her off?
I'm so glad they just sent her to Chicago.
Yeah.
Much better.
Much better.
But instead, they just take that storyline, plop it on Rachel.
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out OnlySuitsFans.com to find out everything you want to know about us. And also, you can read past versions of the Harvey Specter Monthly newsletter and subscribe to get it on the first of every month. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where we're also going live after every Suits LA to record our podcast right there. And why don't you listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you're wondering how you could start your review, you could say, this podcast is tastier than a pan full of mushrooms and onions. Because that's delicious.
Yeah, it is. Today in a call with all of the, our team.